Welcome back to Life of Dave. I've got a little bit of a leak on the roof of my woodshed. Until I can get round to replacing the roof, I'm just trying to seal it up. So it looks like whoever done it, they felted it in 3 sections, clout nails through it, and it's basically just leaking through the seams. The actual felt on the top don't look too bad. A little bit of cracking around the edges, but it's nothing terrible. So what we've got here is it's like a fiberglass resin mix. You can see the fiberglass in it, and it's a waterproof rubberized sort of paint with a fiberglass mixed into it. I do like a bit of fiberglass. So basically all I'm doing is I'm brushing this into the seams and I hope that'll seal it up. So this stuff's supposed to seal leaks, so all I'm doing is I'm brushing it in and I'm pushing it under the seam. So I'll work it towards the seam to push it into that so that it seals it. Spread it out. Job's a good one, you know, and hopefully that'll keep the worst of the weather out. You know, I want the air flow through it. It's not got to be sealed up, but I don't want the water pouring in. I want to be able to use the logs, and with the water pouring in, they're all wet. And I've got to dry them out before I can use them to burn. So there we go. So that's literally like a 10-minute job. There's a bit here that's quite raised up. That's starting to crack there. I'll give that a little bit over the top. The main wet patch is just at that end there. I'm going to push some of that up under there. Cover that over. I could paint the whole roof, but I'm going to end up replacing it with a bit of fiberglass eventually, I think. Anyway, I'll stick a new roof on it. I might even rebuild it. Who knows? Yeah, it's not made to last forever. It is only a wood store. It hasn't got to be brilliant. So what I'll probably do is get some pallets, remake the ends, bits and pieces. You know, bit of wood for the top, and we'll fiberglass it up. And then I won't have to worry about it leaking. Not for a long time anyway. But for now, like I say, a bit of this rubbery roof repair paint. And this will seal all sorts, I reckon, as well. So guttering, you know, leaks in your pipes and stuff, you know, on gutters. Brickwork and all sorts, you know, you can paint it with this and that will stop leaks apparently, so it's supposed to be really good stuff. So I thought we'll try it out on the old woodshed roof. Then I've got a little bit on the flat roof on the house that I've got to sort out as well, because only in really heavy rain, when it's blowing in a certain direction, there's a little bit of the felt that's, I think, is letting a little bit of water in. It's not terrible, I might say. It's not all the time. And again, that's probably something that I'll remove and fiberglass. So the felt on this end's damaged. I don't think we're going to do much with that. But yeah, a bit of preservation. Smash some of that in there. So I'm not going for anything pretty. I've got a bit of leaf litter in there, let's blow that out. So what I've done is I took a brush and I swept off the roof beforehand, before putting this on, to remove any loose stuff. I didn't see the bits down there. There we go, look. That will just preserve that wood at the end from rotting a bit. Get that in there. If that'll push back to it at all, might do. This is literally, like I say, it's just a bit of a lash up for now, bodge it up, whatever you want to call it. It's just to stop the worst of the weather. It's a woodshed. It doesn't really have to be structurally sound. It's just got to keep the wood dry. I don't think that's going to stick back for much, but there you go. We've covered a bit of the wood on the end. That'll seal it from the weather anyway. So there we go. All my wood in there, and it's got a breathable front on it, so I can cover it up. Keeps the rain off of it, but it lets the air flow, so everything in there can get a nice bit of air flowing over it to keep it all drying out. Right, there we go. So that's done. There we are. logs can stay in there all nice and dry. There's a little bit damp on the roof up there, so hopefully that will stop that now. Much better. There we go. Right, that's me done. I'll catch you all next time. Thanks for watching Life of Dave. Bye for now. Right, there we go. So, tiny little leak I had on the flat roof, and I'm suspecting what was happening is this is the felt off the main roof. The water, because of the wind was really wild, went up under there and was getting blown up under the felt of the roof, and it was going behind the felt that they put down on the flat roof. Again, you know, it is a flat roof, they have a limited life. It pulls water in this corner, you know, so I think when the weather warms up, when I've got time and all the rest of it, eventually, one day, probably not this year, I don't know, but eventually what I'll be doing is ripping this roof off, redoing it. I'll put a slight fall on it so that it doesn't pull in the back corner. You know, we'll redo the roof and fiberglass it all, so that'll make it last a lot longer anyway. I won't have to worry about felt deterioration. So, but yeah, for now what I'm doing is I'm just cleaning along there, and I've basically sealed it to make sure there's no water getting under there. I'm going to go right the way across as much as I can, just sealing the edge, and if I've got enough, when I've got any left, I'm just going to go around just sealing all the joints for now. Make this roof last a little bit longer, you know. Eventually, like I say, it'll be replaced, but not just yet, so let's get a little bit more out of it, but hopefully that should keep the moisture out anyway. So when I say leaking, I'm talking it was a tiny little bit. It was, you know, hardly anything, but it was only when the wind was blowing it up under there, and I think that's what it was doing. Right, I'm going to crack on, get this done. I'm not getting nothing done while I'm talking.